In the heart of New York City, Emma, a 26-year-old, found herself trapped in the digital web of social media. With each morning sun, her fingers were instinctively drawn to her smartphone, thumb brushing over images of friends, acquaintances, and strangers. It wasn't merely an activity, it was a ritual. Each notification brought a fleeting moment of euphoria. A new like, a comment, a share. These had become her measures of self-worth. But beneath the gloss of digital affirmations lay a deeper turmoil. Every photo of a friend's vacation, every announcement of an engagement, every flawless selfie intensified the shadows of doubt and inadequacy that lurked in her mind. Emma's world, once vast and filled with aspirations, had narrowed down to a screen that fit in her palm. Her self-worth hinged precariously on the ever-fluctuating numbers of online reactions. As days turned into nights and nights bulled into days, a depressive gloom settled over her. Instead of joy, social media deepened her sense of isolation. The weight of comparisons was suffocating. Emma's laughter became rarer, her outings less frequent. Emma was spiraling, caught in a relentless cycle of envy, dissatisfaction, and growing despair. On a particularly melancholic evening, Emma found herself lost in the algorithm-driven maze of video suggestions. Clicking on one led to another, and before she realized, a thumbnail featuring an elderly Buddhist Zen monk caught her eye. Intrigued, she pressed play. The serene backdrop showcased the breathtaking mountains of Dharamshala, India. Against this vastness, the monk, introduced as Master Anand, sat cross-legged, exuding an air of calm that seemed to transcend the screen. His voice, steady and soft, began weaving a tapestry of wisdom about the true essence of inner peace and the fleeting nature of digital engagements. Connections forged in the virtual realm, Master Anand mused, are like ripples on water, momentary, transient. True connections are those that touch the soul, not just the screen. He spoke of the illusions that digital platforms presented, how they tricked the mind into believing in a reality far removed from truth. Each word from Master Anand was like a drop of water on parched land. It quenched a thirst Emma didn't even realize she had. As the video concluded, the echoes of the monk's wisdom lingered in her mind. It was as if, for the first time in a long while, she'd taken a breath, a real, deep, life-affirming breath. The mountains, the monk, and his message had struck a chord, offering Emma a glimpse into a world beyond likes and comments. A restless night followed the discovery of Master Anand's video. The contrast between his world and hers seemed too stark to ignore. By dawn, driven by a surge of impulse and a hunger for change, Emma made a decision. She would fly to India, to the heart of those mountains, to meet the monk who had unknowingly touched her life. Flight tickets booked, a small bag packed, and before she knew it, Emma was aboard a plane to Dharamshala. The journey was not just about miles covered, it was a symbolic breakaway from the confining digital chains that had ensnared her for so long. The moment Emma stepped off the plane, Dharamshala embraced her with an air of tranquility. The distant mountains stood tall and silent, their majestic peaks piercing the clear blue sky. The town, nestled in their shadow, buzzed with a gentle vibrancy, its rhythm distinctly different from the frantic pulse of New York. As she walked the streets, Emma felt an overwhelming simplicity enveloping her. The houses, with their rustic charm, the smiling faces of the locals, and the soft hum of prayer flags fluttering in the breeze, all painted a picture of serenity. It was as if the place whispered tales of calm and introspection at every corner. With each step, Emma's anticipation grew. Guided by locals and a few hand-drawn maps, she made her way afield towards the monastery that was home to Master Anand. As days unfurled in the monastery, Emma found herself sinking into a rhythm she'd never known before. The city life and digital notifications faded into oblivion as she embraced the monastery's disciplined routine. From the early morning chants that beckoned the sun to the calm of evening meditations under a starless sky, every moment was an exploration of self. Master Anand, with his gentle demeanor, became her guide in this journey of introspection. Over steaming cups of herbal tea, they delved into deep conversations about life, existence, and the enigma of the digital age. One evening, overlooking the sprawling valleys below, Master Anand broached the topic of social media. Emma, He began with a thoughtful pause. The digital world, while a marvel of human ingenuity, has its pitfalls. Firstly, he said, picking up a leaf and showing its blemished underside, what we see is often a distorted reality. Just as this leaf hides its imperfections beneath, people on social media showcase only the best parts of their lives. This selective portrayal leads to unhealthy comparisons as we judge our entire life against another's highlight reel. The next morning, as they walked through the dew-kissed gardens, he explained the temporal nature of online appreciation. Digital validation, he mused, is ephemeral. Today's likes and comments are mere whispers in the wind by tomorrow. True appreciation is felt deep within, not counted on a screen. As days progressed, their conversations deepened. Sitting under the ancient Bodhi tree in the monastery's heart, Master Anand delved into the core of human connection. Digital interactions, he emphasized, are mere shadows of real connections. A text can never replace the warmth in a friend's voice. A like is no substitute for a heartfelt hug. On her last evening, under a canopy of twinkling stars, they discussed the gravest consequence of her previous life. Emma, he said softly, the incessant need for digital validation strains the mind. When our worth is measured by online reactions, it creates a shaky foundation, leading to anxiety and depression. With every word, every analogy, Emma felt layers of her previous misconceptions peel away. The monastery, with its timeless wisdom embodied in Master Anand, was reshaping her understanding of life and her place in it. In the tranquil embrace of the monastery, surrounded by nature and anchored by Master Anand's wisdom, Emma began to piece together the fragmented puzzle of her emotions. The clear mountain air, untainted by the smog of the city and the buzz of notifications, allowed her to reflect with clarity she had never known before. One afternoon, as she sat alone by a serene pond, watching the gentle ripples dance upon its surface, a realization washed over her. The same transitory nature of the water's surface mirrored her life on social media, constantly shifting, rarely at peace, and reflecting only the transient moments. The dissatisfaction she felt, the void that had been growing within her, was an outcome of the illusory world she had been immersing herself in. She recalled the countless hours she had spent curating her online persona, the insatiable thirst for validation, and the heavy cloud of comparison that always loomed overhead. Each memory reinforced the truth that her depression and unhappiness were deeply intertwined with the virtual realm. With newfound clarity, Emma took a resolute step. She decided to unchain herself from the confines of her digital prison. She logged into each of her social media accounts, and one by one, with a mixture of trepidation and liberation, she deactivated them. The silence that followed was profound. She promised herself that, henceforth, she would seek experiences, not validations, make memories, not posts, and cultivate genuine connections, not followers. Emma's journey to Dharamshala had not just been a physical one, but a journey of the soul, guiding her towards a life rooted in authenticity and genuine human connection. Emma returns to the United States as a new person. The skyline of New York City greeted Emma, but the hum of the bustling streets felt different this time. As she stepped onto familiar terrain, there was an undeniable change in her demeanor. The city remained unchanged, but Emma was transformed. Instead of retreating to her apartment and her once indispensable phone, she sought out the real-life heartbeat of the city. She began engaging in community services, helping at local shelters, and involving herself in neighborhood cleanup drives. The gratitude in the eyes of those she helped filled her heart in ways no number of digital likes ever had. With each weekend, Emma started exploring the city's hidden gems, traveling to quaint towns, and immersing herself in the beauty of nature. She traded her pastime of scrolling for reading, diving into worlds crafted by words and finding solace in the pages of books. Revisiting her childhood love for painting, she dusted off her old brushes and paints. Each stroke on the canvas was a reflection of her journey, her emotions, and her newfound freedom. The melodies of the guitar she once loved playing, but had abandoned, now resonated in her apartment, filling the spaces with music and memories. In the heart of the same city that once witnessed her isolation, Emma built connections that were profound and genuine. The laughter of friends, The joy of simple moments and the contentment of being present became her new treasures. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Emma's life was a canvas painted with experiences, connections, and genuine joy. The once echoing void was now filled with the music of authentic living. Standing on her balcony one evening, overlooking the city lights, she realized she was truly connected, not to a virtual realm, but to the pulsating, beautiful world around her.